What if the gods of death, tyranny, and murder, Bhaal, Bane, and Myrkul, won? Not just a victory in a dungeon, not just dominion over one city, but a triumphant continent-wide conquest, an unholy empire stretching from Chult to Icewind Dale. In this shattered timeline, the gods most feared in Faerûn do not fall to mortal heroes. They rise, and for the first time in ages, they rule together. Not in competition, but in perfect, terrifying harmony. Welcome back to LoreSplice, adventurers, where stories fracture and new legends are born. It begins, as most catastrophes do, with a small failure. In the prime timeline, the forces of evil gather around Baldur's gate, but heroes rise to meet them. The Emperor is unmasked. Orin is slain. The tadpole threat is contained. The Dreamer awakens, and the gods, for the most part, are held at bay. But in this fractured branch, the outcome shifts. Orin the Red succeeds in completing her string of ritual sacrifices, killing not just in Bhaal's name, but claiming souls aligned with ancient ley lines. Gortash's Steel Legion overruns the Flaming Fist. His infernal pact with archdevils brings unbreakable war constructs to bear. And Ketheric Thorm, driven mad by grief and tethered to Myrkul, resurrects a god-lich army that devours the Emerald Grove. The Emperor falls early. The Illithid threat becomes a smokescreen, because behind them stand the Dead Three: Bhaal, Bane, Myrkul, not merely whispering into mortal ears, but possessing them. Orin, Gortash, and Thorm become more than chosen. They become avatars, vessels through which their gods can walk Faerûn. When the crown of Karsus is unearthed and fused with the astral prism, a rift opens in the divine weave, and through that wound, Mystra dies. With the Lady of Magic gone, the weave collapses. Magic becomes erratic, unstable, mutated, and in the silence of Mystra's fall, the world begins to shift. A divine vacuum spreads across the realms. Without Mystra, arcane and divine magic twist into strange new shapes. Selûne, the moon goddess, loses her clarity. Her light dims into shadow. Shar stirs with new boldness, but even she senses the dread in the shifting void. Lathander's light sputters. Clerics who once healed now disintegrate flesh. Paladins burn from within as their oaths unravel. Temples fall into chaos. The gods who remain cling to their faithful, but the conduit of divinity, the bridge between planes, is fractured. And in this vacuum, the Dead Three do not whisper, they roar. Myrkul sends reapers across the land. Forgotten crypts break open. Death becomes animated, directed. Entire towns become farms of flesh, harvested again and again. Bhaal's dreamers awaken. Children with glowing eyes and emotionless faces begin appearing. They do not cry, they do not speak, but when touched, people die. Perfectly, painfully. And Bane builds. With Gortash's brilliant mind and infernal allies, Bane erects the Order of Dominion, a brutal, efficient machine state. Fear becomes law, obedience becomes scripture, and the people, lost in chaos, welcome it. This is no sudden cataclysm. It is plague-like, spreading, incurable, and within 5 years, Faerûn belongs to the dead. By 1496 DR, the world is almost unrecognizable. The cities remain, but their hearts are hollowed. Baldur's Gate is now Red Gate, a place of artful executions and ritual theaters. Every week, names are drawn in blood for Bhaal's delight. Waterdeep still stands, but its lords now wear iron masks. The Open Lord is no more, only the Grand Triumvir, flanked by a vampire counselor of Myrkul and a pit fiend general of Bane. Neverwinter becomes a cold factory state. No music, no festivals, just rows of identically dressed citizens, working, eating, and praying in absolute rhythm. Magic is no longer taught in towers. It is locked in vaults. Wild magic surges from cracks in reality. The weave, once a harmonious flow, is now a fraying rope. Some try to resist. The Harpers are exterminated. Their last cell burns in The Emerald Enclave retreats into the deep jungles of Chult, forming guerrilla circles of druids who lose more of their minds each season. Even the Underdark is changed. Not a refuge, but a prison, guarded by Myrkulite mind harvesters. Drow queens bow the will of bone, and across the skies, the stars go dark. Not from clouds, but because Bane has decreed that no stars shall shine brighter than his towers. This is the world of the Dead Three, a realm of silence, obedience, and beautiful death. But even in this silence, there are echoes. A tiefling bard, nameless and hunted, finds that her songs can undo command spells. When she sings, even the inquisitors pause. A child with golden eyes wanders from a Myrkulite death camp, untouched by the undead. He leaves behind a trail of blooming lilies. A rogue mind flayer, severed from the elder brain by a psychic burst, begins teaching hope to prisoners beneath Skullport. And in the forgotten ruins of Candlekeep, buried beneath a collapse, a journal is found. Its pages are scorched, but the signature remains. Elminster Almar. The legend is reborn, not as one man, but as a movement. Deities do not die easily. They fade. They drift. But they endure. In us. The dreams of one bard echo in the minds of thousands. The hope of a child relights forgotten altars. A single dagger, once gifted by Faerûn to a mortal love, is passed from hand to hand, each time glowing slightly brighter. And then, one act. A girl with no name, wielding that dagger, walks into a tribunal of Baneite judges. She sings a single note, and drives the blade into the throat of a deathbringer. The corpse speaks, not in pain, but in moonlight. Faerûn stirs. Mystra stirs. The weave quivers. A single silver thread, barely visible, begins to sew. And Bhaal? Bhaal dreams of silence, but for the first time in years, he is afraid. So what do you think, adventurers? Could the Dead Three truly rise? Would Faerûn survive under their reign? Or would the dreamers, those last echoes of gods and heroes, find a way to bring dawn? Let us know in the comments. And if you love fractured pantheons, corrupted cities, and the spark of rebellion, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Until next time, this is LoreSplice, where stories fracture and new legends are born.